Does this look weird with it pinned?
No.
It looks good like this?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Why you look so hot with your shirt open like that? Who are you trying to impress?
All the lucky ladies at home.
All 10 of them that watch.
I actually think I get more attention from gay men than I do from women.
You do.
Actually, no, I know for a fact that I do.
Well, it's because you look like a bear.
I'm like entry-level bear.
Entry level, but that's why you get so much.
Got barely any fuzz.
Barely any fuzz. You know what I mean? The Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, everybody. This is an easy, quick plug for June's merch store.
Oh yes, go
Buy
to my
one of her I Support the Gay Rat wedding.
All the profit goes to the Trevor Project for the month of June. So, cop some merch, even regular merch. Doesn't have to be gay. So,
link in the description.
Link in the description.
Stop the okay. I guess that's our audio check too.
Bye.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Night at the Movies. My name is Gregory, this is June, and tonight we watched Dark Phoenix.
It's not Captain Marvel, it's not Captain
But it feels good.
Sorry, I'm sick.
June's feeling a little under the weather, so please forgive her. I'm gonna try to edit her out as much as possible.
I'm dying, just edit me out.
Like every other
Edit me out of
episode, but
life.
this time I have an excuse.
Yes.
So June, what did you think of Dark Phoenix?
I liked it, but it was quite forgettable. It felt like some executive was like, hey, let's take aspects of every movie that did well lately and throw them in a blender. But when they threw it in a blender, it came out as a very predictable, bland, flavorless smoothie, in my opinion. But I enjoyed it.
You found it predictable?
Just everything that worked for the other movies, throw it in a blender and drink up. What did you think?
Oh, I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget.
Okay.
Dark Phoenix was a dark, serious, long, slow, boring, depressing, exhausting, these are all compliments, by the way.
Oh.
Film that I would have enjoyed if there weren't so many world-breaking moments that completely ruined the dark tone. I feel like the movie got a bad rap for being boring. It is boring, but it's good boring because it's a drama. And
Yes.
it all leads up to an amazing action scene at the end, which is a perfect payoff. And if you're one of those like action porn followers of superhero films, you can rewatch this film just for the last scene alone. It builds up perfectly to that, and it's very satisfying. I have some complaints.
Oh yes, I have
A few complaints.
you.
This was one of the most faithful representations of an X-Men story in a film ever. I would go as far as to say that this is my favorite X-Men film.
Counting Logan? Wow!
You say this is forgettable? This film is etched in my brain forever.
Really?
I've been unironically just listening to Hans Zimmer's 1 hour and 8-minute long score
Oh, the music was
over
good.
and over. Again, the complaints. Yes, there are things that detract from the film. There are moments that I would say are so bad, not that they're funny, they're outright hilarious. I could not contain myself in the movie theater.
I think I know what parts you're talking about, but go on, we'll get to that.
But the mix between the dark, serious tone and then the so bad it's funny moments actually sells this for me.
Oh, really?
Because it reminds me also of sort of the golden age of superhero films, the late 90s, early 2000s, when X1 and X2 were like the superhero films. I would say that the tone is super consistent with the original trilogy. It is way more faithful than X3, which is the first time you see Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is the original Thanos, except she didn't have to snap. She looks at them and they disappear. As much as I love Famke Janssen, and I think that she plays a better Jean Grey and a better Phoenix than Sophie Turner does. I love Sophie Turner in Game of Thrones. Her character and her acting is beyond par. But I think Famke Janssen is a better Jean Grey.
Really?
You would die for them.
No, not for them. For you. For you.
Save me.
Yeah.
I thought Sophie did such a good job. They better pay her freaking chiropractor extra for this because that woman carried the whole entire movie.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I wanted to compare this to Captain Marvel as much as I can, and one of the most glaring differences, just so I don't bury the lead, Sophie completely carried this film without skipping a beat.
She
Not
acted her
one
ass
beat.
off. The beginning I thought was predictable because like we literally just saw Shazam a few months ago and the same exact fucking thing happened. Parents died in a car accident because of the kid in the back. Same fucking thing happened. Well, not died, injured.
That's unfortunate coincidence number
Yes.
one.
There were a few of those though, but the car crash scene was so good and scary and like you felt like you were there.
You felt heartbroken.
Yeah, the mom was like looking
Well,
in the
I would
mirror
say
right
that
at her and oh my god.
If you,
like,
you want to rate this, the car crashes between Shazam and this,
Yeah.
you care a lot more about Jean Grey's family dying than you do about Shazam.
that's true. At least the font was not fish, so
Yes, so
Score.
point over Aquaman.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
We get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go.
Heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
So I wanted to point out the fact that this was also quite intentionally released back to back with Captain Marvel, so that they would transition seamlessly from a Captain Marvel poster outside of the movie theater to a Dark Phoenix poster.
They
looked very, very similar. Like, it's like when those shitty cut rate studios make a fake, like
straight to
so that
DVD.
grandma doesn't know that it's a different movie and they bring it home. Grandma doesn't know that there's no such thing as an Atlantic rim. But you can't really bust their balls too much for their choice in color because the blue and red, or to be more specific, the blue and orange color motif is the most popular color motif in posters. It was actually popularized in the late 90s, early 2000s, again around the time that the
wonder-
X-Men trilogy was popular, so...
I wonder if that color scheme has anything to do with like getting people in the mood to watch a movie because you know red and yellow make people hungry, like the communist flag. Get it? Because they're hungry? It's a boomer meme, I'm sorry.
We didn't really talk about this in our review, but there's supposed to be an element in that film of Captain Marvel sort of recapturing her humanity, which is completely lost. Because they don't explore it at all. We're just supposed to assume that she's human now, because she smiles, I guess. Dark Phoenix, similarly, also has like a huge identity problem where she's trying to figure out who she is, who has control or what has control over her will and her power. They make it more interesting, and it makes sense at the end in her death and rebirth moment that when she's reborn, she kind of takes control of the power while at the same time being the one that's in control of her will, as it were. That translates way better, and the end of the story, the moral isn't girl power. It's something more substantial, so
I have a question.
for me,
Yes.
okay,
So you know more about superhero shit than I do.
unfortunately,
Okay. So, Storm can freeze things, right?
correct.
Okay. Is it like Frozone logic where she needs water to freeze things? Or
Well,
is it just ice?
she's-
Does it just make ice?
Theoretically, she's condensing the water in the air
Okay.
to become ice.
So how did she plug up the spaceship's holes if there's no water in space?
She made a storm.
In the space?
She should be dead.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Hello, Jean.
Who are you?
The better question is, who are you?
Everyone was doing their best. Everyone was acting their asses off.
All asterisk.
That was-
Asterisk.
I was gonna
Asterisk.
say-
Everyone asterisk
Yes.
was doing an amazing job.
Really
Everyone
good.
asterisk was acting their ass off. Everyone asterisk was very impressive.
Yep.
I got very upset hearing a lot of the movie reviewers saying that a lot of them were acting like they're just waiting for their contract to end.
It was one
Everyone
person.
asterisk was not acting that way. Everyone asterisk was not acting like they were just waiting for their contract to finish.
It was-
so that their character can leave at the end of the first act and get their fucking ass out of there as soon as possible.
It was one person.
Just one take that bitch and get the fuck out of X-Men. Asterisk. Nobody did that.
Jennifer.
So it's complaint time. No, it's complaint time. It's complaint time.
Okay.
It's complaint time. We're officially going into spoilers now. Go to this time frame to skip the spoilers. 3, 2, 1, go. Sophie Turner, she did the role perfectly. I think that it was, even though she's not as good as Famke Janssen, I felt like it was a very faithful representation of Jean. I think part of the problem was just that the dynamic is different from what I'm used to, mainly with Scott, her boyfriend. He like sort of takes a back seat to her, like literally sits behind her in the spaceship. It's not really Sophie's fault, that's more the director's fault. And I get it's sort of hard to show when somebody just has Thanos powers and they can just erase people. There's no way to really show that in a satisfying way. They tried their best with some slow-mo and some fancy camera shit, but it was super lame. And then at the very ending is a little unsatisfying. Except again for Scott. As Jean Grey's backseat in this film is also sort of the audience's emotional connection to her, so the way he feels at the end, you feel it. I mean, but that's the only reason you do, is not because of what she's done, but because of Scott. Thoughts?
Talked for like 7 hours. So yeah, everyone did a great job acting except for fucking Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know what happened. Can we please discuss that?
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence, just embarrassing. Embarrassing! Who let her on stage? She wanted it to be over. She brought down like that whole scene.
We've been getting this vibe with Jennifer Lawrence since Days of Future Past. She was acting like she was too cool for school back then. I get that she's like a big Hollywood star. She's an A-lister now, so she deserves, you know, more pay or whatever. But Jennifer, I love what you do, but that's no excuse to phone it in. I don't care that it's a superhero film for kids. There is no excuse for that horrendous acting job.
God awful. God awful.
Unforgivable. The fact that she acted poorly in the scene is bad enough. It's when she did it that was the problem.
It was like a pivotal moment in the movie.
They've just caught up with Phoenix. She's starting to go full Thanos and just explode people. The X-Men show up and they're trying to reason with her.
Calm her down.
She fucking shreds Quicksilver. Shreds him. He's taken home in a fucking gurney.
Yeah.
The scene just keeps escalating more and more and more because everything they try to do to stop her, she just gets it back at them 10 times worse, hurting them every time. And then Mystique says,
Jean, stop.
it's more like this, Jean, stop.
No, it was Jean, stop.
Jean, stop.
Jean, stop.
It was just,
What?
it was like somebody completely derailed the train
Jean, stop.
during one of the most important moments in the film. Up to this point, Jean has this thing where she just, whenever there's too much noise and she can't get the noise out, she goes, quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. When she did that in the beginning of the film, her mom dies and crashes the car. So Mystique starts walking up to Jean. Jean, no, we're family. This is what family does. We're all family. Everybody's family. It was just words forever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Jean, no. Mystique gets impaled, can't talk anymore, and I just said, thank God that's over.
She died and we were happy. We were like, yes, good.
I think I actually applauded.
Yeah, you were just like,
No more Jennifer Lawrence.
babe, stop. I was just like, babe, stop. It's like people in the movie theater with us. Probably like their favorite character.
It's unacceptable.
It was really bad.
So I get that Mystique didn't want to be in the X-Men anymore. Actually, my theory is that Jennifer Lawrence was so resentful about having to return for the role that the resentfulness was translating onto the screen so vividly that they had to write it into her character so that it would make sense. Mystique doesn't want to be there. Jennifer Lawrence doesn't want to be there. Nobody in the role of Mystique wants to be there, apparently. Mystique tries to leave, and her apparently boyfriend now, Beast, talks her into staying. And then she dies the very next mission. He feels guilty about it, which is great motivation for him. Beast is fucking the man in this film. His character motivation is amazing. The fact that he essentially turns evil. It's played perfectly how he ends up turning. Even the way he explodes at Charles for it and stuff. Bring it back, Greg. Bring it back to... Anyways, at the very end of the film, though, the very last shot is Beast sitting in his chair as the new head of the academy or whatever. And he looks at his photo of his beloved dead girlfriend, Mystique, and she's wearing the X-Men uniform. That's so disrespectful. She didn't want to be in the X-Men. She died being in the X-Men because you made her do it, and you remember her in her role that she resented. Get out of town. Anyways, the whole character was completely fucking mishandled. It was almost like the director put it in there as a jab to fucking Jennifer Lawrence. Like, this is how you'll be remembered forever as fucking blue, bitch. You're the blue bitch forever, bitch. I get why Jennifer Lawrence wanted that role in the beginning, is because Rebecca Romijn made that character big. She gave that character some wicked clout. So Jennifer Lawrence slipping into that role then is, you know, by default gives Jennifer Lawrence all that clout. And that's what Jennifer Lawrence's career was all about in the beginning. Win a couple Oscars, all of a sudden you're too good to be blue. Yeah, I said Jennifer Lawrence, more like Jennifer Snorefest.
Yeah, I don't think this movie did good just because it came out so close to Captain Marvel and...
You think that's why it did poorly?
Yes, and it was kind of underhyped and also slow, dramatic, and not like fun and quirky like the Avengers and stuff. So that's why I don't think it did very good.
You're definitely right that it was underhyped. Yeah. I actually completely forgot that it was coming out until 2 or 3 days before release. I got an ad on YouTube or something saying, watch it in 2 days. It's like, I forgot that they were making this. How does that happen? I get that I don't watch television, so I don't actually witness a lot of advertisement, but how does that happen? Almost all of my favorite movies ever did terribly in the box office. Aside from like Star Wars and Jurassic Park, most of them have done terribly.
Can we just talk about the one scene, you know, the scene that I'm gonna talk about? Yes, you do. Okay, so Jennifer Lawrence, God bless her.
There's a really good scene where they're just trying to cross the road, and they're fighting over who can cross the road.
Talking.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. Anyway, holy fuck, I was literally in the middle of saying something. Oh, they tried to cross the road. Fuck off. Irrelevant.
It's a good scene. I'm just saying it's amazing what they can do with such a simple concept of just trying to cross the road, and they're fighting over who gets to cross the road, and it's really good.
My foot fell asleep. Okay. My brain is falling asleep.
Don't you dare.
What? From your shit. It's falling asleep and wants to kill itself. Okay. So that fucking scene.
What? You're gonna do me like that in my own video?
No, I love you. Oh. Okay. So, the scene, baby. You know what scene.
Sorry, go ahead.
You know what scene I'm talking about. You know the fucking scene with Jennifer Lawrence and ex-professor. She walks into the fucking room and confronts him, and she dead ass goes, you should name it ex-women, so women do all the work around here. It took me out of the scene, like it made a very dramatic moment just fall flat again. Always Jennifer Lawrence's fault. She called it ex-women. I thought people were joking about that when they were talking about that scene. I thought it was a meme.
It doesn't even make sense, because if you want to do a count for count of who saved what, Quicksilver and Nightcrawler were the heroes that day. There was a secondary mission afterwards to save specifically the captain. It was just an excuse for her to be a feminist before they fucking killed her off. Again, wasn't acting. They had to like fucking CGI tears into her face. Maybe I think they made her like climb the stairs before she got there because I think she just looked a little sweaty or something. You should call it ex-women because women do all the saving around here. So she's dead forever. Thank
Good. Crab
God.
rave. Jennifer Lawrence is gone.
Okay, I actually wanted to complain about the opening sequence a little. So comic book rules, you know, you can be a little loosey-goosey with space and stuff, but there's a few problems. The fact that they're like in a busted open space ship without helmets on, and that's fine for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. Then they like duct tape one over Nightcrawler, like that makes any sense at all. But whatever, again, comic book rules. I can't really forgive that the setup to this ship, the Blackhawk or whatever it's called, being able to go into space at all.
Yeah.
Because Hank's like, yeah, I made some modifications that can make it climb a little bit faster. And the professor's like, hey, send it to space. Beast is like, it's not designed to go to space, you bald fucking idiot. It's a fucking jet. I just said that I made modifications that can make it climb faster. And then he's like, yeah, no, the president says you gotta send it to space. So Hank's just like, okay. And then they just go to space? You can't just send a thing that's not designed to go into space. Even if you can manage to get it there, you're fucked, because how do you maneuver it to get back? You can't just turn jets on. Jets don't work in space.
Neither does ice.
Okay.
But anyway. Okay.
Yeah, the whole opening sequence was dumb. But the visual effect of Jean absorbing the Phoenix energy, though, was actually pretty badass. Nightcrawler, he's the only person that also has a character arc that I didn't really mention. His character arc is that he's a little bit of a scaredy cat, but then at the end goes balls crazy. It was great when he did it, by the way. It was awesome because he just started fucking stabbing people. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But that moment that got him into that broke him into crazy mode, was that a military guy that was nice to him died. Why was that the thing
I don't know.
that pushed you over the edge? Whatever, it was just cool when it happened, I guess, so I'll give that one a mild pass. It was one of the better Nightcrawler moments, though, ever.
So another complaint in a comparison with Captain Marvel. The body shifter people.
Yeah.
What is up with the villain? Also, the new Men in Black has them too.
Yeah. That was
Enough.
immediately the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, another shape-shifting bad guy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Lame.
The Illuminati's clearly just getting us ready for the false flag, fake alien
Don't
invasion.
joke, because Jake will try to debunk you. So stop.
There's also a part with the Phoenix when she's sort of realizing that she's different, and they're having that party, and she just starts chugging alcohol. That was kind of weird. I was like, Dark Phoenix Saga. More like Dark Alcoholic Saga.
Oh, fuck! Remember the fucking rocket launch scene?
That was sick.
Our minds were blown.
That was sick.
What was that? Why was it so good?
Both the rocket launch scene and the scene where the
plane.
The jet is going up into space. Both of those in 3D.
Why was that so good?
Amazing.
That was a great...
Amazing.
You, like, felt the...
Oh, yeah, the bass was rumbling the floor.
Oh, shit. That was awesome.
Yeah, the visual
The
effects...
CGI in this movie?
That's who the real stars are here, is the visual effects artists. Yeah. There's a couple weird things, like that one shot at the end where they're showing Jean Grey sort of standing over the debris field is kind of a bad, awkward shot. It's kind of hard to show, like, the general destruction from a train derailment because those tend to be several miles long. However, I would say that the true hero of this film, the man that actually controlled every step, every decision, was the man himself, Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is the Contrarians' go-to Swiss Army tool. Basically, if you're competing with somebody that you know is gonna kick your ass in the box office, but you wanna come out with your fucking guns blazing, you hire Hans Zimmer. This man does some weird experimental shit. He's old as fuck, and he's hanging with Pharrell. So the dude is cool. There's a lot of sour notes, a lot of off-putting notes from beginning to end. There is not a single jovial tone.
Yeah.
It is at best depressing, at worst stressful.
Yeah, it was kind of like Logan, where it was just very dramatic, sad.
Everyone's crying the whole time.
Yeah.
Even fucking Magneto cries.
Yeah.
It's gut-wrenching. Every moment is depressing, and the end is depressing, and it's satisfying.
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect example is the quintessential scene, the train scene. Tension's starting to build. You know the bad guys, they're just waiting to hijack the train. Things are getting scary, you don't know what's gonna happen. They're trying to break in to get the mutants. The mutants are all locked up, they're all helpless. Oh no, what's gonna happen? How fast is the train going? Does the director decide? No. Hans Zimmer's here. Hans Zimmer decides how fast the train goes. He's got those drums going. That drum's a going. So you think the Foley artists, they're gonna add sound effects like the steel sliding across the rails or the railway crossing bells. No, no, no. Hans Zimmer's here. That's right, Hans Zimmer was the one, because he wanted you, the viewer, to have the optimal sound experience during the action scene. All the soldiers are dead. It starts to build up. It starts to build up. It starts to build up. That drum's a going. Oh my God, that train's going so fast. And it all leads into easily the best X-Men moment in X-Men history. The train sequence was so perfectly executed that it is not only a satisfying ending to Dark Phoenix, it's a satisfying ending to all of Fox's license holding of the X-Men IP throughout history. It gets a little bit fucked up with the part where Dark Phoenix explodes the alien and then kills herself. That was a little lame, but other than that, pretty fucking good.
And Magneto just crushes an entire train car on somebody, and that was cool.
That was so satisfying.
That was cool.
Pushing all the bad guys into the last car and then crushing it around them and sending it rolling down the tracks.
It was badass.
There was a couple times he made me laugh. Like when he floated over.
Oh God,
quickly.
I laughed so hard.
I got a quick short out of that.
It was
I mean,
a short.
It was funny, but it wasn't world-breaking.
The army comes to Magneto's little island of misfit mutants, and Jean is hiding there. He's hiding Jean. And so they're looking for her. Jean comes out and she's like, "Go away."
Well, she fucks up one of their helicopters.
Yeah, and she tries to fuck up another helicopter, but Magneto doesn't want her to. And then there's like this weird standoff where they're both trying to control the helicopter.
They go into a full-on hand wave off.
Nobody's fighting, nobody's shooting guns, nobody's flying through the air. You have your two characters fighting each other without ever touching each other or touching anyone or anything else.
Jean Grey just putting one hand up, then Magneto notices, and then he puts a hand up, and then they just keep building up to the point where it just starts getting ridiculous.
And I just thought that was a unique way to approach an action sequence.
And then he just starts to spittle all over the fucking place. Oh, fuck. That was definitely the third of the top 3 funniest moments in the film.
It is 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I already had my neighbors knocking on my floor. J-Rock, what boy? June, how would you rate this film out of 10?
I give it a 6 out of 10. It was good and enjoyable, and I recommend it.
I'd actually give the movie a pass for all of its so bad, its funny moments, because it was charming. It reminded me of the heyday of superhero films, how you're not really supposed to take the genre too seriously to begin with. The one thing that actually holds the film back is that it's kind of hard to get invested in a couple of the characters because they don't get enough screen time. Again, my example is Scott. Scott is used for the audience to care about Jean Grey, but other than that, he's relegated to the role of just carrying Professor X's useless corpse everywhere. That being said, the film is an 8 out of 10, and I would recommend it to anyone, and I swear to God that in 10 years from now, people are going to be saying that it was secretly one of the best X-Men films ever.
High praise.
Who would you recommend this to?
Anyone. It was just a good movie. It was on the same energy as Logan. Like a dramatic, depressing superhero movie. So, it was good. I liked it.
It was actually, Logan is more boring than this film.
Really?
Yeah. 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 Hey, all those people that said this is boring, that said Logan was good, shut up! Logan's really good though.
Yeah.